Hey, how's it going? This is Mark's latest ASMR video. No, just kidding. Mark's Minerals. Today we're carving some fire agate. You should be. I'm sorry I haven't been posting more. I've been working some really high end pieces, and because they're high end, they require a lot more care and detail. So it would just, in my imagination, it would seem boring just to watch somebody just carving until you start to expose the colors. Luckily, I'm far enough down, got rid of enough junk where everything right now is pretty colorful. So I figure I'll zero in and hopefully it's of interest to you. um, I really appreciate everyone's comments and suggestions. Wonderful. Uh, if there's anything I can do, any more questions I can answer, please feel free to contact mark.ruiz.fireagate@gmail.com. Um, and I'll post that up here. Let's see. Wonderful questions. If you get stuck while you're carving and there's something you're thinking, I don't think his videos covered this, then just let me know what it is and I'll get right back to it and see if I can help out. All right, so without any further ado, let's get to carving. All right, for a little status update, I like to mix up what I'm carving, so I have 3 Slaughter Mountain, Deer Creek, and an Aguascalientes. Let's see. And they're all at about a similar stage. They need a little something. There's definitely some purple hiding in there. It's really hard to see. These things are, purples and blues are one of the most difficult to reveal, true purple or blue. Okie doke. And then here's a little Aguascalientes. This tends to be an exception to the rule. Thin layers, multiple layers, but they tend to be really vivid. You can see that there's multiple layers in there. Nice clear bit, but then layer, 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 layer. Let's see if we can zoom in a little better, because those things are truly stacked. Okie doke. So Aguascalientes. Some more of the Slaughter Mountain. And then this thing, there is some gorgeous blue purple in there. And it's midway down. There's still some layers beneath that. Different layers of purple. And it starts off with this orangey red. There's a green. You can see that shelf, that line, as the layers are exposed. Yeah, there we go. And then past that it turns to green again, and it goes clear at the bottom. This is what I mean by mapping the stone. This one's just got a dynamic red and some pretty greens, so I've been kind of slowly cleaning it up. I'm going to try to preserve and see if I get that really true red, because the really pure, true, vivid red, it's not coppery. That's a very desirable color in fire agate. And this is the one I've been working on for a while. Let's zoom out because it's a little bigger. There we go. It's a nice big chunk, and I've severed it and cleaved it. There's a piece coming off up here that met at like a 45-degree angle and made it really hard to see what I was working on, so I had to get rid of that. And let's zoom in a little further. Maybe too far. Alright. So these layers, let's see if we can, there we go. There's multiple layers stacked in on each other. And this is what I mean. Each one of these can have a different color. Green, blue, purple, red, gold, coppery. Just the way that it's deposited, whatever the prominent chemical was that was present, there was a lot of iron generally. So because there's a lot of iron, you get this red. If there's copper, you'll tend to get green. At least that's the understanding. There's still very little known about fire agate. It hasn't been researched. It's one of those lesser known gemstones. And here there's some really pretty green, blue, just popping up through underneath this orange. So I've been clearing this whole valley out, trying to clear out all the mud, chalcedony, and define these lines because there's some good color underneath there, so I'm still trying to clear this out. Yeah, and around this almost mushroom-like point right here. So I've been cleaning this up, cleaning around that. I'll focus on the bottom when I've got the top done. I sawed it off, and there's like a clay pocket in there. Luckily, it's pretty thick before I get to the color, so I think even when I clear the bottom, I should be fine. Currently, I'm working with these little dental bits. These are 1.6 millimeter. This particular one, these are sintered dental bits, and these are from the company Heiko in Switzerland, Heiko. They make fully sintered dental bits that are just phenomenal for just that detailed work, allowing me to get in there. Like I said, it seems a little bit boring, but I'm going to give it a shot, put together a video, and hopefully it's of interest to you. I'll at least show you how I start to expose some of the color down in there. All right. So as I rotate the stone, I'll find dark spaces, dark points where it seems shady, like the color's not showing through. That's usually because there's that layer of chalcedony on top that's obscuring the color beneath it. It's just a fine layer, but then the color layers are thin as well. The color layers are sometimes less than a millimeter thick, and that can be a very vivid color, coming in at a ½ millimeter thick, but it appears really bright because it's against a dark background. Similar to opal. Really good opal triplet, you'll have bright vivid color, and then it's usually set against a black background like black jade or basalite or some other black stone, and then they come in and cap it with a clear top, say clear sapphire, clear quartz, which magnifies the stone and helps increase the brightness of it. So that's basically what I'm trying to do, is just isolate that brightness and get as close to it as I can. Along this longer leg, so for some basic movements, if you're just tuning in, I like to keep the tip moving pretty consistently. I don't like to rest it in one place for too long because it can burn through the color very quickly, especially considering the layers are so thin. So I try to keep some regular movement happening. You have to keep rotating the stone, checking from different angles. Watch your lighting. So when I'm coming in, I'm doing the defining work with these dental bits. Then basically I'm smoothing it out, getting rid of any tool marks that I might have left behind. And I like to do that with sandpaper. Typically I'll start off with an 80 grit, nice coarse 3M sandpaper. and get rid of any of those marks. Once that's defined, then I'll take it down and I'm going to come in with 150 or 200 grit sandpaper, sand it back down again to get rid of those scratches till the surface appears uniform. And then gradually just continue to work down. I've got some very fine grit sandpaper, and usually by the time I'm done with 5,000 grit, it appears as if it's polished. So right now, I would strongly suggest that you're working with a mask. N95 or better, particulate filtering mask, so you're not breathing rock dust. Especially this, because it's really high in silicates. So that silica dust is sharp and attaches itself to your lungs and can cause breathing problems down the line. That's another reason that I work with the water, to trap some of the dust so it's not free floating in the air. But the water only traps so much. So please do wear a mask. Watch what you're doing. If an area seems really dark, then usually the layers are thick, so just kind of keep your bit moving smoothly over the area so you don't wear too much in any one spot. You clear it up as it'll start to lighten as you go, even though you're getting closer and closer. One of the things I like to do too down here is I can see where the color layer is for that bright green. So I was thinking about opening these spots up and bringing in some more of that green. So I'll be going deeper. And like I said, the agate appears in layers in these little shells. Right now I'm wearing a magnifying visor so I can see what I'm doing. And I'll just try to peel off layer by layer uniformly until I get down to where I want to be. Again, gentle pressure, probably 3 ounces of pressure. I just want to make sure I have control over the bit and the tool that I'm using, this flex shaft, so that I don't rip through too quickly. And the speed is still pretty slow. I'm probably going about 4,000 RPM right now. This part is so fun for me. It's like doing a puzzle in reverse. You're just peeling away the outside of it to expose the brightest parts. The colors in this Slaughter Mountain, this particular one, are really vivid. I can see some blues, some purples, some violets. The colors are really iridescent. So in certain spots, I'm going to shoot for a uniform solid color. And then in other areas, I'm going to break through multiple layers to expose multiple colors in the same area. So I hope you can get a sense for what I'm doing. I'm just basically peeling away the brown. Just as soon as the color is exposed, I'm done working that area, and I'll work around it to make sure it looks more uniform, cleaned up. You only want to move and remove a tiny bit at a time. Otherwise you risk blowing through your best color or ruining a lot of work that you've already done. Don't be afraid to push the stone though, especially if you know you've got lots of good layers. Sometimes if you don't push the stone enough, you won't be able to see what's underneath. At some point, to get the most out of the stone, you have to disrespect the stone. By that I mean you're pushing too far, you're ripping off layers. But if you're patient with it, follow through, and use good technique, the stone will yield the most to you. Alright, I'm starting to plow through to the next layer now. I can see it's turning that golden, and then it goes from golden to bright green to a hunter orange. So I'm going to try to get down to that yellow in a few spots. And then I'll be taking a little break. And you can see I started to expose some more of that blue, green. I hope you can see this, because it's pretty dynamic. The whole stone is really dynamic. And so I'm going to be slowly going at it, and I'll be posting videos as I go. I'll be working other stones in between to break up the monotony. And if you have any questions, I hope that you'll contact me. I look forward to putting out more videos, and I hope to be putting out a more comprehensive video. I still have to obtain a camera, and luckily I found somebody that will help me with the editing. I just have to get enough footage. Well, that's Mark's Minerals videos. I'm gonna buckle down, and when I put on the second level of magnification in this visor, then I tend to be about this far away from the stone, so it wouldn't make for good video just to see the back of my head. So I'm just trying to give an idea of what I'm doing and what I'm seeing. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching Mark's Minerals videos. I hope that you'll like and subscribe. Leave me a comment if you'd like to see more. I'll be putting up a link very soon on my next video to some that I have. Hopefully some really nice rough and some finished stones available. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a lovely evening.